And we are live. There's Taylor's famous words. Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Jill Simonian from PragerU Kids. Hope you're having a good morning. We're going to be talking about lies today. Will and Amala and Taylor are all here. However, you're only, I think, going to hear from like one or two of them. Amala's waving. She's working furiously on something right now that you're going to be able to enjoy and react to later. But we are going to be talking about what many of you have seen floating around online the last few days from Dallas Justice Now. Once again, I'm from PragerU Kids. If you have not checked out PragerU Kids content for ages kindergarten through 12th grade, check us out at prageru.com/kids because we're all about teaching our kids truth and we're all about teaching our kids how to sift through the lies. Am I right? Yes. So check us out. Become a member of PragerU Kids and prep. But in the meantime, I want to talk about some of the lies that are circulating on the web the last few days. And the first lie that we're going to address is this incendiary letter. Strong words, too strong of a words? Who's here to comment with me?
I think that's perfectly fine. How you characterized it.
Amala's supposed to be working on her script, but she jumped it. She jumped it. So listen, we're going to be talking about this letter from Dallas Justice Now that we have seen floating around. This is a prime example of what we are trying to protect our kids against. We're trying to protect them against lies here at PragerU Kids. But this letter, okay, let me look. I'm going to read it like this. And I think, Amala, you can pull up the article from the Washington Times that sort of explains this. Basically what happened in a Highland Park neighborhood in Texas, outside of Dallas, I guess, Highland Park Independent School District, some of the, I'm going to say in the whitest and wealthiest neighborhood in Dallas, hundreds of parents received this letter, allegedly from a local BLM, saying, we are asking you to pledge that your children will not apply or attend any Ivy League school or U.S. News and World Report top 50 school for the sake of making room for people of color. So they don't want anyone who is white to be able to have their kids apply to any of these schools, no matter how hard these kids worked, because they want to make room. They want to make things more equitable. So a bunch of parents got this letter, allegedly, and as you can imagine, the internet went wild. And what do we think of this letter?
It goes back to the innate problem with the term equity, and I'll explain this because a lot of people have struggle with the term equity because it sounds great. It sounds like the man who's 6 foot tall and the man who's 3 foot tall, we're at an uneven distribution of height here. So what we're going to do is get a step ladder for the man who is 3 feet tall, and then they're going to be at the same height. But that's not how equity works. What actually happens is the man who is 6 foot tall is being cut off at the knees. This is a perfect example here because it's not saying, oh, let's allow white and black students to go to the same school and hopefully we will judge them based off merit and what they've accomplished. No, we're asking now that white students don't even apply to Ivy League. So again, we're cutting people off at the knees for the sake of equity.
Yeah. And as a parent, if I would have gotten this letter, like I said, I would have been infuriated. But it's just a testament of of how crazy everything is now. When it comes to raising our kids, and we want to teach our kids to work hard, we want to teach them that it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, but if you work hard, you can apply to this school or you can go to that college and you can do anything you want to do and pursue any dreams you want to do. But then to get a letter like this from a group that supposedly wants equal rights for all, it is devastating. So, a lie that we need to inoculate our kids against is that many of these organizations that say that they care about everyone do not. They make demands that, frankly, like you said, cut people off at the knees. And we need to always remember to seek truth and to communicate what truth is and to stand up against stuff like this. I want to go to now, and I know that we're probably going to leave the link to the article in the comments here. So I want to hear if anyone has reactions about this, if anyone has questions about this. But I encourage you to read this article from the Washington Times because it does shed a little bit of light on it. And as we're heading into back to school season, parents and grandparents and teachers, we need to gear up to really keep our eyes open and be alert and aware to push back on any of this garbage that will inevitably be coming at us through our own school districts and through our own local groups this August and September as we head back to school. Are there any comments about this Dallas Justice Now from our viewers?
Angel Blanco says, so what you're saying is that I should put your child above my child.
Yes.
What planet are you from?
What planet are you from? I like the editorial, Angel. Her name's Angel.
Yes.
I like your fire, Angel. Yes. Yeah, that's basically what everyone is saying. Not everyone. That's basically what groups like Dallas Justice Now are saying.
Right.
So be alert, be aware. Don't be afraid to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong, because it takes courage. It takes courage to do it, and it's hard to do it, but it's worth it, because once you start actively engaging in your community, at your school, and standing up, you will find people to stand with you. I guarantee it. It has happened to me on a local level. You will find people. And that's the kind of the support that we're offering at PragerU Kids through our prep membership. Join us, become a member, if I haven't said it already. Okay, now there's another article, because today I'm a little obsessed with lies. And I'm getting very angry about the ongoing lies that our children are being subjected to. And this next article that I found the other day really bothered me, because it involved a little girl, a fourth grader in a Minnesota school, who was subject, and I have kids about her same age, and I have, again, experienced something very eerily similar to what this little girl talks about in this article that we found on the Daily Mail. I have experienced this in my own life, so this really got to me. There was a little girl, her name was Haley, I think, and Amala, you can go ahead and pull up Amala's my brains in tech at all times. I need to buy you like chocolate or something. Flowers, it's something okay. Like a goodie tree.
Free of charge.
Free of charge. She's a wonderful person. Okay, so so this article, Daily Mail. Mm-hmm. Little Haley was in her fourth grade class in Minnesota. Can you go ahead and say which school district it was? I can't see that far. I'm showing my age. I can't see that far away.
Yeah, let me look for the school district here. It was
Sartell-Stevens School District.
Sartell-Stevens School District in Minnesota.
Thank you. Her class was taking an equity survey provided by an organization, and I think it's also on there. I want to look it up. The organization was the survey did not come from the school district. In other words, it came from an outside organization about equity that gave this survey to these fourth graders. And there were several questions on this survey that the children allegedly did not understand. And in Haley's class, you can see in the article, there was a little boy who asked about one of the questions on the survey. And that question had to do with, do you identify as male, female, transgender? And the little boy in class said, hey, I don't know what that means. He asked the teacher, can I ask my mom what this means? And the teacher said, dun, 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 no. And the teacher said, no, you may not ask your mom about these questions. And first, that's creepy. Second, that is an extreme, obscene overreach, just completely, casting aside parents' rights. And so little Haley told her mom, she spoke at a school board meeting, and they said, this is not right. And this isn't right. And long story short, the survey was given. The parents did not know what many of the questions involved. And again, it hits the internet, and now we're all up in arms because we are all saying, why is the school giving surveys like this? Here's the thing. Our schools, public and private schools, are giving surveys that do not communicate the content of what's in them to parents. It is our responsibility to ask. We must ask. We cannot be shy. Heading into back to school season, send an email to, a lot of schools now have social emotional learning counselors. I challenge everyone right now, parents and grandparents watching, you too, Amala, if you know of a local school, send an email, find the social emotional learning counselor, send an email saying, I would like to know what surveys you have planned for my child at the beginning of the year, and I would like to see them before I approve of my child being able to take them. That's where we're at. What is your response? Do you think I'm flipping out about this non-binary question on the survey?
No, you're not. This is a discussion that should be had between parents and their children, and unfortunately, it's something that's being taught in schools now. I was at Freedom Fest this past weekend and actually did a speech about the fight for freedom with America's youth, and the numbers on how much time parents are spending with their children are staggering. They're absolutely horrible. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says the average parent spends about 52 minutes with their child a day having a meaningful conversation.
I believe it.
And that may not be the parents watching, and if that's not you, then great. I hope you spend more than an hour talking to your kid a day. But with a kid going to school for 5 to 8 hours, they're now being raised by school teachers. And if your school teacher is implementing this sort of ideology, that is problematic.
I saw a fantastic meme today as I was coming into work. It said, oh my, I'm going to look for it, but I'm probably not going to be able to find it, so I'm going to paraphrase. Don't call me, it was to the effect of, don't call me a paranoid parent. I just choose to not co-parent with the government. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I paraphrased it. I hope it made sense. But yeah, it is not our job or our wishes as parents to co-parent with the government.
No.
Government schools.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm curious, are there any reactions to this Washington Times article about the non-binary equity survey that was served up to fourth graders who most likely don't even know the meaning of the term non-binary? I mean, my own kid, my third grader, did not know what that meant last year when she was given a survey pretty much saying the same thing.
I still don't know what it means. I still have no idea.
That makes me feel better.
A lot of people are still commenting about the Ivy League story, saying
Really?
that,
Tell me, yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people are echoing the sentiment that send the people who support Black Lives Matter to Ivy League schools because now they're just a vessel for indoctrination anyways. Which is a very interesting take.
I have heard that. And there's a lot of people, I mean, if you think about it logically with the Ivy League schools, so you want to stop people from working hard and attaining the scores and the grades and all the accomplishments to get them into the Ivy League schools. But if you prevent those, I mean, if you think about this logically, it's nuts. If you prevent all of those people, those students, from applying to the Ivy League schools, then the Ivy League schools aren't going to be the Ivy League schools anymore because they're not going to have the most accomplished students. So then you're going to flip-flop the whole system, and then you're going to say what happened, and nothing. It doesn't make sense. Why do I always scream when I come in here with you guys?
It's very overwhelming. It's very frustrating.
Therapy. Tell me. Okay, read the. Yeah.
Here's another comment from Andrew Clinton. He said, "Please don't blast all school districts and schools. I've been a teacher for 17 years, and I would never act or behave in this manner. I completely agree with parents/guardians knowing what is going on in your schools."
Who's the name of that person?
Andrew Clinton.
Andrew. I always clap. I clap. I hope that wasn't too loud. Taylor sort of jolted. The teachers, Andrew, we are with you. We appreciate you. We are grateful for you. If you're still watching this video, the teachers that know that this is wrong, because we know there are thousands, if not millions of you out there. We know that not all teachers can be painted with the same broad stroke. And teachers like you, especially, who are members of our PragerU Kids Prep membership program, you guys are the foundation for us to keep our kids' videos and magazines and all of our resources coming to teach our kids the truth and to reinforce that there are teachers who do not agree with any of this, and you guys are trying to take back our kids' education with us. So thank you, Andrew. I am always appreciative of the teachers who leave comments like that as a reminder, because yes, it is very easy for me to start talking and saying teachers, when I in fact know that is not the case for all teachers. So thank you for that. We're going to end on a hopeful note.
Yes, we are.
We've got fun things to offset all of this nonsense that is happening around the world when it comes to education. At the top of this video, I always open and say, I'm Jill from PragerU Kids. I'm saying it again right now for anyone who is just tuning in. I'm Jill from PragerU Kids, and we want you to join our army of parents that is almost 20,000 strong, to support the kids' videos that we have developed and produced and made since the beginning of this year. We have all these different shows for kids, ages kindergarten through 12th grade. They cost money to make. I'm not going to lie. They ain't cheap. but they're worth it. And we depend on you to give us the foundation to be able to make these videos in your generous donations. And one of the newest series that we are launching this week, get excited, we need a drum roll. It's called TBH, which is what do you call it? Not an acronym, but what is it like when it's initial? TBH, to be honest. Yeah. The kids use it in text. Like when kids are texting, they're like, TBH, it means to be honest. So we're using it for our new history show, to be honest, because kids, as we know, are being taught a very revisionist version of history. But we're going to be honest at PragerU Kids in teaching our children the true history as it existed. And I want you guys to watch this trailer right now because we're super excited about it.
Here we go.
Okay.
I think we can all agree that history is pretty important, but there's a problem.
Modern teaching of history is not honest history. It's just leftist ideology being crammed down the throat of your kids. But traditional teaching of history is kind of, I don't know, dare I say boring? Maybe?
Super boring. John Adams, I hate that guy. He smells like a fish.
Now Benjamin Franklin's head will be in your head all day. You're welcome. But to be honest, if history were actually taught like this, maybe young people would actually remember it. And maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have to repeat it.
You smell like a fish. A turkey should be the national bird. Talk about freedom. I'll give you freedom. I'll give you freedom. I'll get you to the fast food restaurant.
Okay, so fun, right?
Very
totally
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Totally fun. I would watch it. Truth be told, I'm probably going to learn a lot of things that I never learned in school, and I'm going to share it with my kids. The personalities that you see on there, they're the same personalities that produce our how-to videos for all of you who have enjoyed our how-to videos. They're snappy, they're short, they're totally fun. So share that with your kids. And another episode that just launched now for our kindergartners on YouTube and on our website, so The Emperor's New Clothes. And The Emperor's New Clothes, as we all know, this folktale is based on telling the truth even when it's really hard. I just want to show them a little bit of the B-roll, because when we talk about, here's an insider tip that I'm just going to share. It's kind of a little secret. When we talk about producing all these shows and depending on you, saying we can't do this without you, our team here at PragerU Kids is animating a lot of these story times. They're drawing them from scratch. We're taking classic folk tales that are no longer told to kids, you know, the folk tales with lessons of virtues and values and all the things that children need to be raised with. None of these are being taught to kids anymore, and we're putting them in folk tales. And I just want to play, can we just play some, I just want to show them a picture of the animation. Scroll it. Let me see.
We can't sit
The
through here. We're gonna go through.
Oh, we don't need to watch. That's me.
Once
but
upon a
yeah.
time.
So, okay,
There
so
you go.
here's when people say, "Oh, well, what do you mean we support the PragerU Kids?" All of this is hand-drawn original content from our team at PragerU Kids. Talented people. Refreshing these classic stories that all kids need to know, so that we can teach our kids to be proud to be an American, to live with values, to know what hard work and telling the truth stands for. So we want to ask you to check out our new episodes for PragerU Kids, The Emperor's New Clothes on YouTube, TBH History launching later this week. Any questions, Taylor? No. I got him off guard. All right, you guys, that's it. Weigh in. Always keep an eye out for the truth. Go back to your school board meetings in your local communities and push back against organizations like Dallas Justice Now that we discussed at the top of this video, like social emotional learning surveys that ask 10-year-olds whether they are non-binary. Push back against this. Always stay on the side of truth, and join us at PragerU.com/kids to join our army for course correcting what's going on in our schools. We can't do this without you. So we want to say goodbye. Will you guys all say goodbye?
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.